Jason Aldean, Full Throttle Tour 2025, powered by Patriot Mobile. When lights come on. Friday, September 19th, Wells Fargo Arena. With Nate Smith. You set my world on fire. And Ray Lynn. Jason Aldean. On sale now at iowaeventcenter.com. Jason Aldean Live.
We recommend listening to the CW Pod with a glass of Steeple Ridge Bourbon. Grown, distilled, well-rested, and bottled in Erling, Iowa. Now from the Channel Seed Studios, this is the CW Pod, fueled by Steeple Ridge.
I do not know much, but I do know that dry January is incredibly overrated. Did it one time. It lasted me about 14 days, and I'll never do it again. And if you did do it, congratulations. I guess that's good for you. I'm not talking down to you, but I want to thank our great sponsor, Steeple Ridge Bourbon. And I would like to encourage you all, now that it's over, to go out and indulge in a bottle of the best bourbon that the great state of Iowa has to offer. That is my friend Pat Hoffman, what he makes down there in Erling, Iowa. Over there in Erling, Iowa, not down there. Come on. Love it over in that area of the country. Steeple Ridge Bourbon. I prefer the black label. That's my favorite. If you are just getting into bourbon, I would say do the white label. You know, it's funny too. A lot of people are like, Chris, you've lost a lot of weight. How have you done it? And if you stop drinking, I go, no, I just drink more whiskey. Is the God's honest truth. I drink less beer and more whiskey. I drink more Steeple Ridge than I ever have in my life. Is that the healthiest choice? I don't know, but I enjoy it, and you will too. Go buy yourself a bottle of Steeple Ridge Bourbon. How's that for a sponsor, baby? Fun show today. Let's just bring her in right now. Mackenzie Eddie is going to join me from the Overthinking Show. We have a lot to get to. What up, homie?
We have so much to get to. We have so much. That list that you sent last night, I was like, I can be adding to this.
Well, okay, so you can watch and listen to Mackenzie with Sipker on Mondays at noon.
Yep, that's us.
How's it? First of all, listen to this. This is the God's honest truth. You can't even make it up. It's February 4th. We're recording this 8:30 in the morning. I just dropped off the girls, and I just, on February 4th, delivered Christmas cards to the daycare workers.
That's fine. Did they say Merry Christmas on the cards? Or did they say Merry and Bright?
I think we had to, the wife is the one who put them together. I'm just putting together a representation of our life right now.
It's fine. You're busy. And those are Valentine's Day cards, as far as I'm concerned. They're
no, but
Happy
now
New
we
Year
got to do those in a week.
I know. I did get the kids Valentine's, the boxed ones, yesterday. I finally picked those up. I used to do handmade when I only had one kid. When I had two kids, they were so cute. They were custom made. And now it's like, I have three kids. I'm going to Target. So
yeah, that third kid always gets the shaft.
I know. But she does. They do.
They get the hand-me-downs. Well, I guess in your case, that's not the case.
It's not, because she's a girl, so she has all new everything. Yeah. So in my case, our middle child, he unfortunately got the shaft a lot of the times. Shaft. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I said that to the administrator at this daycare. I'm like, this might be the latest Christmas present you've ever received.
Whatever.
This is my life.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. If you were on time, if you were ahead of the game, then they would be like, what's he doing? He's lazy. Things must not be going well for that guy. If he's able to really focus on getting our Christmas gift. But now, you're late. He's busy. He's successful. He's a king.
Yeah, it's something like that. No, and then I had too, when the kids can't sleep.
Yeah.
Worst thing, one of the worst nights ever for my 5-year-old.
They couldn't sleep last night?
And it was like the tantrum, I'm trying to fall asleep and I can't. It was, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that is horrible. And that's when it's nighttime and all you want to do is wind down, and then you just can't get to that point. Yeah, that could drive a parent Or
And
a
Iowa
person
State got
insane.
their asses whooped by 20 last night.
They did. We were watching that. Yeah. Yeah, we were watching that.
You
That
guys
was
were
good.
probably cheering for Kansas.
No. Jeff? Huge.
Oh, I forgot. Jeff's an Iowa State fan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
have the house divided thing going on over there.
We do. Yeah, we do. But
How's your show going with Scott? You enjoy it?
I love
You
it.
can be honest.
No, I love it. I love it. And I was kind of
I
thinking
enjoy
about, do you like it?
Yeah, I really do. I told Scott, I was with him on Friday. I said, it might be the show I look forward to the most because it's not really just about sports. So it like takes my mind off of everything that I'm
Right.
doing like work wise. And I always want to join in on your conversations. Like I want to interrupt you guys. And that's a bad habit of mine.
Yeah.
But I want to like jump in and be like, no,
No,
so it's
that's
good.
good. That's good. I was thinking about, or someone asked me about it, and I was describing it, and I was saying, right away, it's probably not like on its face a dude show, but it should be because we talk about things that are going on in the world that you can really have good conversations about. So, yeah, we talk about a lot of things that gals might like, but I think it's great conversation starters to have at home or out in the world. It's good, what do they call it? Water cooler conversation.
Yes.
Just things that are going on. So it's just kind of a pulse of not what's just going on in Iowa, but what's going on in pop culture, what's going on in the news. So I love it. It really...
So I admittedly have not listened to this week's show yet.
Wow.
But I purposely did that because I knew you were coming on here.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to steal like anyone's ideas because I think we may have a few crossover topics. So I
Yeah.
will listen to your show. I have to drive to Ames later. My plan is to take it in at that point.
All right.
But I needed to talk about this Kanye's his
wife.
girlfriend. That's his
His
wife.
wife. They're married.
Wanted to talk about that. You had a really interesting take on a thing that, in my opinion, there's two things, in my opinion, that are breaking Americans of their bank accounts in 2025. Cell phones, right? Like if you think about how much money we spend on like cell phones and like for our kids and bills and like data and all this that didn't exist 25 years ago.
You don't even own your phone anymore. You're like leasing your phone.
It's insane the amount of money
it's crazy.
and then these like scrolling impulse buys.
Oh God, yeah.
They get me all the time. Oh, I need those jeans, man. Look
I
at
bought a brand new palette of makeup last night. I mean, not just a palette. I bought almost $200 worth of makeup last night.
just because it targeted you and you're like, oh,
I have always had my eye on this specific brand, and I wasn't going to buy it during Christmas because I was just bleeding out money. And
yeah, feel you there, sister.
So I bought it last night because I thought I deserved a little treat. I've done nothing to deserve a little treat, but in my mind, I can justify.
Oh, you're
anything.
a super mom.
Sure. Yeah.
You moms always think that you're not good enough.
Moms, yeah. I mean,
Y'all do. It drives me nuts.
Moms have a lot on their plate, and I think not in every case, definitely not every case, but there's this thing called the mental load, and I think moms in a lot of situations carry more of that mental load with the household, with the Valentines, with the with, just all that stuff. So yeah, it's kind of easy to think maybe I'm dropping the ball in a few different areas of parenting. But
My wife had influenza last week, and like day 3, like she was still on the deck, like 101 fever.
no, it's so bad this year, by the way.
Everybody's sick right now. My wife was like convulsing because she wasn't up cleaning the house. And I'm like, stop.
I know.
And then it drives me nuts because it's just like, I would rather have a messier house and you rest. And I would rather that, like just from a pure selfish standpoint, it makes me feel better. I'm not even thinking about you. It makes me feel better to see you sitting in the corner sleeping than
I know.
stammering around with 101 temperature.
That's when you walk by with a vacuum cleaner or a rag or a broom.
But then I don't do it right.
No, of course you don't. It's nothing against you. It's just the way that it is. I know. It's really a lose-lose
I'm
situation.
telling you, y'all need to chill out.
I know. We do, but we can't, because if we're not freaking out, then who is? And if no one's freaking out, then something bad's going to happen. That's just the way that we think. Someone always has to be anxious about something, because if you're anxious about it, it's not going to happen. We're crazy. We're crazy.
No, but think the scrolling. I thought you had a really interesting take on these necklaces. It was like 2 weeks ago show, and it got me really thinking with Valentine's Day coming up how we could help some in. And then we do have, like, believe it or not, like, I know you've seen the demographics. Quite a few women listen to this show.
Yeah. Hey, ladies.
Because
come on
we're
over
not,
to overthinking.
Yes, come on over
here.
Mondays at noon.
That's right. It's perfect
building it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Valentine's Day thing is tricky, I think. How long have you been married to your husband?
10 years.
Okay,
10
so
years.
we'll be on 15 in May.
Wow.
And it's like
a long time.
Yeah, well, my wife turned 40 this weekend.
I know, I saw that. And you guys celebrated in style. That's great.
Well,
happy birthday to her.
She didn't want a party, so I went behind her back and threw her an epic surprise party.
She didn't want a party, so we had a party. Yeah.
Well, come on.
Yeah.
Everybody says they don't want a party.
Yeah.
Is there any human that actually means that?
I don't think so. I think it's the human condition to want to have a little bit of attention on your special day and to feel loved and to feel appreciated. So I think
it was quite the deal, too. Like, we had high school friends, college friends, work colleagues. We spanned out the entire life. That's awesome. That's really nice. I bet she appreciated that. I think she did. Yeah, she did. I think she did. No, but like, so she turned 40 and I turned 40 this summer, and it was like, holy crap, like, we've actually been together for half of our life. Yeah. Wow. And it's like, oh, we're old. But you're not. Okay. When you hear of someone who's done something like crazy in the news, they invented something, they did something, and they're only 40 years old, don't you think to yourself, wow, that's really young? That's like very young. I always think those 40 under 40 lists, and it's like, no, I'm not even, like, I've never been on one of those, whatever. No, I'm not even eligible now. Not now. Sorry. Now, I got to be on the old guy list now, right? Because that's always like the cutoff. You see the Entrepreneur Magazine's 40 under 40 or what? Well, not anymore. I'm up with the old people now. Well, first of all, let me let you in on a little secret. It's all bullshit. Those lists are crazy. And don't you have to apply for them and You have to apply for them. You have to get all these people to write you these letters, and it's all blowing smoke up people's ass. It's all fake. And so if you have received it, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. But also, if you haven't, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. That's how all the sports writer and sportscaster things work. Not sportscaster, those are voted on by your peers. Not that one. That's our guy Jake. That one's actually pure. But when you go to the national stories of the year and all that stuff, these are the best 3 stories. They're all, you have to pay to submit them. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Is how it all works. Yeah. Yeah. It's all just a money grab. I learned that really early in my career when I was at little old KMA radio in Western Iowa, and we had this news director who was obsessed with this. And I don't know if he just was insecure or whatever, but he would force us to get our best work, and the station would pay money so that we would just clean house at these awards. And it's I was 23, I'm sure it was garbage, the play-by-play I was doing and stuff like that, but I would win all these awards, and I was like, oh, I'm a big deal. No, yeah. There was 2 stations in the entire state that applied for this. Right. Yeah. And they had to pay to do it. Yeah. So anyways, back to the point. Now I'm the step up. I'm the next phase. Well, yeah. I'm old now. You're distinguished. You are seasoned. So when you're wise. So the problem I always have is I have Christmas. Her birthday is February 2nd. This was a real problem in college. And then you have Valentine's Day. And it's just I'm all out of ideas. I'm just running through this thing. Yep. In 2 months, and I don't have any money either. Yeah. Especially back in the day. Yeah. But so the scrolling with this, you pointed out this heinous necklace that you told men. Yep. Stay the hell away from those. Yeah. Do you at some point though, how do you do this with your husband? Like, is there an expectation on Valentine's Day to like, because you don't want to lose the old spark.
Exactly. I think Valentine's Day, just remove it for what it is. Like some people have a really hard time with Valentine's Day, but I do think Valentine's Day is still a good opportunity to tell your partner that you do appreciate them, you do see them, because I mean, I know you feel this way because you just said it earlier. When your wife was sick, you wanted her to lay down so you felt better and then also when your wife was sick, you're down a teammate. It's I feel like when you're married,
kids around nonstop.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're married and you have kids, your wife or your husband, your partner, they're not really like the love of your life. You don't look at them like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. You look at them like you are the other half to help me get the kids to school. They're no longer like your love interest. They are your teammate. And so I think Valentine's Day is a good time to just remind them like, hey, I see you. I love you. I remember why I love you. It doesn't have to be corny. Write them a little note. Go to brunch. Bitches love brunch.
They do.
You know,
man,
like,
you guys love brunch.
We love brunch. And more than brunch,
why?
We love because here's my thing.
My wife does that too, though, Mackenzie. Like, she wants brunch all the time. I've never understood it. I can make eggs. Like, you know.
No, it's aesthetic. You're out. You don't have to clean up after breakfast. Breakfast makes the whole house stink. And then you're home. And then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. And even if it's just brunch for just you and her, line up the babysitter. You know, like have someone watch the kids so you don't have to drag the kids out to the restaurant. I'm sure your kids are angels at restaurants. Mine aren't. I mean, they're getting better. But
those little boys are better just raising hell.
God, they're just... Yeah,
boys are so much harder than girls, I've learned. Until they turn like 10 and then it's on. And then those hormones start flowing through them.
I'm so worried about that.
Oh.
You know?
I'm already there, sister.
With the girls and that, yeah.
With one of them.
Good thing boys mature later than girls.
Eventually, my daughter Cameron could be a sitting co-host on Overthinking. She fits right in with you.
Would love it.
She's overanalyzing everything.
I was like that as a kid too. I
no
mean,
way. I wouldn't have pegged you as that.
Stuck with me. Oh, god dang. But it is what it is.
Okay, so.
Sorry, I went on a tangent. I don't even think I answered your question.
Well, but no, you were leading me there.
Okay.
Because it's like, at some point, we've been together 20 years. I really can't buy her any more earrings.
And she doesn't want earrings that she didn't pick out. And she also
really
doesn't want that she didn't pick out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you know her and you know her style. I mean, of course you know her. But how many guys are buying that ugly ass necklace? Because I think it's got it has a heart and it says my name on it.
Goes back to the start of the conversation. We were targeted.
Right. And you were targeted. You're easy targets.
This
sadly.
AI knows what this son of a bitch is going to buy this.
Oh, yeah. Because it's right there in front of him. It's easy. All he has to do is click a button and Valentine's Day is taken care of. Hero. No.
You know this probably better than me, but like when you're on Instagram and an ad pops up and you slow down and look at it.
Yeah.
The algorithm knows what you're doing.
It knows.
So then it's going to serve more of that shit to you.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like I've been looking at like new pants because I need new pants. Mm-hmm. And all my algorithm is pants.
Yeah.
It's just pants.
Yeah.
And it's always these like, you know, like it's like Rip from Yellowstone, like these rugged men that I want to be, but I'm not. Hey, you can look like Rip.
Yes,
on the ranch. You know?
Right. Poncho shirts.
Oh, I love the poncho shirt. Oh, I think didn't your husband have some ponchos?
Oh, yeah. He's got some
we were
ponchos.
talking about them at the Christmas party.
It's so funny. You could just like get two guys together that don't know each other and just say like, talk about poncho shirts and then walk away and you guys could just talk and talk and talk.
The poncho shirt is really a life changer, especially in the summer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because everybody makes a decent flannel, but to have that like performance fishing type, I've actually, maybe you could help me with this. I want to be like a brand ambassador for poncho. It's like a dream of mine. I don't need to make any more money. Like I just want to I just want unlimited poncho shirts and just talk about them on the podcast.
I will write the pitch, and we'll slide on into their DMs. We will get this. We will make this dream come true for you. I really think that we can do that.
The other ones that have sucked me in with their advertising over the years, and I don't buy them nearly as much as I used to, is those Untuck It shirts.
Yeah, they're the same vein. Like they're similar.
But those are great for a guy like in my profession, because I do need to have a collar on more often than not, but I really don't need to. Nobody needs to see. I can wear jeans.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. It's kind of like a business on top, party on the bottom type situation.
So moral of the story. And we're going back to don't overthink it, because she doesn't want any of the shit jewelry you're going to pick out because you have awful taste.
Not necessarily, but more times than not. I mean, I remember my dad bought my mom the same pair of earrings 2 years in a row for Christmas. And I think I might have actually helped on that. But
because he didn't know.
Because he didn't know. And he doesn't care. And so, the jewelry, not that he didn't care. He just bought the thing and thought he'd check the box. Nothing against my dad. They have a lovely marriage. No jewelry unless she picks it out. No stuff. No, just stuff. No, the Valentine's Day easy stuff. Girls, women, we don't want stuff in our house. So I just more toward an experience or a note or something that shows that you see her not only as your partner of the house, but your love interest.
This is a theme, though, because dudes are pretty much the same way.
Yeah, of course.
We always, at least I don't think my wife's going to care that I'm talking about this. It's pretty much, we're trying to help people here.
We're just trying to help.
Mackenzie wants you to know that she just wants to be appreciated and loved. Pretty much. At the same time, that's pretty much you're like, pick up the vacuum. Well, okay, I will, but then it's going to get redone. Even if she doesn't tell me that I'm doing it wrong, I'm going to know. Yeah,
but to know that things are being taken care of when I'm sick,
but then
I don't have to worry about that when I feel better.
But then we are egotistical, we're egomaniacs, okay?
Yeah.
And then it bruises us when everything we do is wrong.
I can see that.
You know what I mean? It's not right. I'm not saying I'm proud of this. It's just who we are. So okay. So we've come to the conclusion here, I guess, that you don't need to go out and do anything extravagant. Just be nice to each other.
Yeah, or an experience. Take her to brunch and hire the babysitter.
Brunch.
It's always brunch. It always comes back to brunch. So then she can come home and finish cleaning what you started.
The mess that I made.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really easy. It's really easy when you think about it.
Yeah, just don't be you do overthink the gift thing. At least I do, because it's all right, well, I got her books, and then I buy too much crap, and then she doesn't put it out, and then that offends you, and then I'm then I should be hosting overthinking at this point, because does she not like it? It all kind of rolls together.
I know. That's why, you know what? The biggest thing is communication in that case. You don't have to guess, especially if you've been married for 15 years, especially if you've been married for 10 years. Quick guessing. Just ask.
Yeah, just ask.
Ask.
Just ask the damn question.
Just ask the damn question.
All right. Mackenzie Eddie is with me today. You can watch her on Mondays at noon.
Mackenzie Eddie.
Jesus, have I been?
She wasn't going to stand up for herself.
Why did you write on your Instagram? It says EDDIE.
That's how it's spelled, Chris. Things can be spelled a certain way and not be pronounced.
I thought that's how the name was. Jeez, I'm so freaking confused.
I thought we were friends, but I guess not.
I thought it was Edie, and then I looked.
It is Edie.
Okay.
Edie spelled like Eddie. It's okay. I'm never going to correct somebody.
Why?
Because that's rude. I'm not going to.
No, it's rude to mispronounce your name.
No, it isn't.
Especially when you're a guest on my program.
Oh, how would it look if I was it's actually Edie? Because I feel like anytime I even say anything, I was telling Aiden this yesterday, if I could just even ask a simple question, I always am afraid someone's going to perceive that as I'm being just a bitch.
That will not be the case because it's your name, especially in this case where I should know.
It's okay.
And I thought I did know, but I didn't realize the discrepancy in the spelling. And now I'll never make the mistake again.
It's okay. It's okay. And you will, because it is spelled Eddie. It just is. And you'll make the mistake, and it's all right. And I won't say anything.
This has been a thing for you, I would guess.
Yeah, but it's not.
Or is it just a Chris Williams problem?
No, of course not. Of course not. No. I mean, it's spelled that way. You would actually be surprised how many emails I get. People thinking my first name is Eddie, and my last name is Mackenzie. Eddie Mackenzie. Yeah, very like Irish gangster type. In fact, yeah.
Where is your family from?
The Eddies.
Well, yeah, like I got my mom is half Irish. My mom's family's all Irish.
They're English. I think the Eddies are English, and the Schmidts are obviously German.
I got some German in
reputation. Me. Yeah.
Dude, my mom's side of the family, they're all South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my mom was born in South Carolina, and like my whole that whole side of the family is from there. Like,
do they have
Charleston
Southern
area.
accents?
Oh yeah.
Oh no! Tell them never to listen to my show.
I got an Aunt Debbie from Dallas.
You do not have a Debbie from Dallas.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow. I actually love that so much. I would make that my entire personality.
She's recently moved to Florida, but
oh well, Debbie did Dallas. So
Debbie did Dallas for about 50 years.
Damn, Debbie. Doing Dallas. Nice. She put in her time.
So my mom's family is, because people like, it's so funny. One of the, Aiden can attest to this, I think. Aiden, jump on in here if you want. Where all these people who have listened to me for 15 years, they think that they know like exactly who I am and like what I stand for, and they're like, oh, he's a Southwest Iowa redneck who's a MAGA Trumper, or like what? And then you got these people that think that he's just an elitist, like it's so funny. I would love for you guys to see this side of the family. As far like if you do some digging on my mom's side, like it ain't cool. Like we're going back Civil War times. Like it ain't great. I got one of those. It
was cool at the time.
21 or the deals where you trace your heritage.
23andMe or whatever.
Yeah. 23andMe.
Oh God.
And kind of wanted to stop digging there after a while.
Yeah. But it's good to know. It's always good to know because you never know. Those genes, they can pop up way later in life. So you see one of your girls doing something little, and then at least you have someone to blame it on, like your great aunt.
Did you ever read Malcolm Gladwell?
Yeah.
The Talking to Strangers. Did you ever read that one?
I read Tipping Point and another one, but not Talking to Strangers.
Talking to Strangers, there's a really, I think it was I read like all of his books, so I could be getting them mixed up here. But it is very fascinating how like a human being, because it goes back to how like we were all like brought up and then like nurtured. Mm-hmm. And then it just like gets passed on from generation to generation. Like if you would go up to a human being in the South, however many years ago or whatever, and if you would say, "Hey, what's up, douchebag?" This is just an example. Obviously, I'm not being literal here. They would want to like kill you. Like they would literally like. Because it's just like their first instinct is to fight you.
Okay. All right.
Like if you would say the same thing to a person from Michigan, like somebody from the north.
Got it.
Their chances are they would like laugh at you.
Got it.
And take it as like a joke or.
Yeah.
And it all traces back to, the upbringing. Uh-huh. And like these people in the South, oftentimes were these settlers were being, attacked by Native American tribes, and they're constantly at war and fighting for everything that they where the people in the North were just not as, it was more of a highly educated crowd, and they were the intellectuals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes a ton of sense. That makes a ton of sense. I think even now, I'm not going to, I don't know what I was going to say there.
You
No,
were
I
going to
do.
offend my culture, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. Well, I already did that yesterday, so I apologize. Tell no one in your family to listen to yesterday's
To be honest,
episode.
we've lost. I don't have really much to do with the South Carolina folks anymore. People die, and it's kind of sad because I really enjoyed those times when we would go down there.
Of course.
We would spend weeks on the beach in Charleston and that area and stuff like
There's
that.
so much history down there. It is it's so interesting. I mean, that's the oldest part of the country. It's so interesting. I was not going to offend your family at all. I was going to say it's kind of similar to how men and women react even now. If the way men can talk to each other and the way women can talk to each other, like if you go up to a friend and you're like, "What's up, douchebag?" You guys are like, if someone comes up to me and they're like, "What's up, bitch?" I instantly,
Yeah, that word has a different connotation, though. I feel like
even if a woman came up and said, "What up, douchebag?" I'm going to be like, "Well, fuck you."
the B word, that's an interesting one.
I caught part of you and Chris Hassel's conversation the other day. And did he say you're not supposed to say
Apparently.
bitching anymore? Like, quit bitching about that? Is that what he said?
Aiden's very woke. Aiden, do you know anything about this?
What?
Do you know anything about this? Did you hear what Hassel was saying to me?
Yeah, I had never heard that before.
No.
Apparently they
That must be a Florida thing. No way.
Definitely a Florida thing.
Because if that's the case, I'm getting canceled. I say that to my 5-year-old. Quit bitching. You're fine.
Yeah. No.
Is that bad?
I say it. No.
Okay.
For different reasons, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For different reasons. Let's circle back to that. No. Bitching?
Me?
No. I don't think so.
I
think it's fine.
Do you have girlfriends that will call you that word?
I don't. I do not have friends
What
like
up,
that.
bitch?
No.
No?
That's just not how my friends and I talk. But I know there are certain groups of women who that is how they talk. But
Yeah,
I
because
don't.
I know a lot of groups of women that they do that.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just not how my friends and I talk. Maybe when I was younger. Hey, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that. That's
What's up?
exactly how it sounds.
I will say, if someone's looking good, I'm like, "What's up, you skinny bitch?" Like that. Like that's a compliment.
Okay.
But I haven't done that in a long time. That's just not how we communicate. We're too tired.
You need to bring that back.
Can I say it to you? What's up, you skinny bitch?
Yeah, you say whatever you want to me.
Now that's offensive. See, douchebag. Okay, if you call a friend, but if your friend calls you a bitch, what do you think about that?
But if
you don't
a
like
dude
that.
calls another dude a bitch,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
That's
and then
not
it's
good.
like you're questioning his masculinity.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that goes way, 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 way back too, because the number one thing men don't want is their masculinity questioned, ever.
Yeah, and this is where our egos come in, and we're soft.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what is masculinity? Is masculine this is like a hot topic nowadays, right?
Yes, it is.
Because you got with this election, everybody was all like, the war on masculinity. And what is that? Is masculinity being able to go and chop down a tree with your two hands, or is masculinity like being able to taking care of your children? Like what is the definition of this?
It's such a fluid term.
Right?
I think it doesn't mean, and for some people, it's putting the American flag or Twitter bio. It's like it's just such. I don't know. It does not mean what it. I think it could change from day to day, and it means something different to every man, woman, and child. It doesn't. Masculinity. When I say masculinity isn't what it used to be, I'm not saying that because I'm like a big right-wing conservative. I'm saying it because it's just not.
Well, it's different. When our dads were growing up, it was like, you showed that off by working on your car.
Yeah, and
Like
having
rather
fights
than-
after school,
Yes.
like beating the shit out of your friends,
Well, I
and then
don't
you be
think-
friends the next day.
But then it came back and now, and then it was like, oh, be masculine by being in touch with your feelings.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. I think that's part of what masculinity was. There's nothing wrong with, being in touch with your feelings.
But now they're like, no, go and kick the shit out of that guy after school again.
Yeah, it is swinging back that direction. Right? It feels like it is, but I don't know.
And it's guys like me who want to look like Rip from Yellowstone.
Well, I honestly, I think all men should want to look like Rip. Rip.
Did you watch Yellowstone?
I watched part of it. If you can imagine, it gave me anxiety.
Why?
But I did watch Landman. I watched all of Landman.
I haven't. Should I watch that?
You should. And I will say, everyone's like, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. And it is so good. Some of the writing, if you pay attention to some of the lines, like Billy Bob Thornton, he is who he is, they just give him some of the most douchey throwaway lines. And I'm like, you didn't need to say that because it kind of, but it provides entertainment. Not everyone's as picky as me. And I'm not saying I'm like better than anybody. It's just some of the throwaway lines. I'm like, you didn't need to say that. It's just dumb.
Well, because that was on my list. And
no, you should watch it.
Yellowstone's probably my favorite show of all time.
I should give it another go.
What made you uncomfortable?
All the killing, all the bad feelings. I don't like that. No, I don't like that. I mean, the spoiler, I'm going to say something. If you've never seen it, I'm going to say something. I'm going to spoil it.
Listen, if you've barely watched it and you're going to spoil something for somebody now, like, it's not a spoiler. So you can
the first episode, the one son dies. And I was like, well, no, I don't. That doesn't
he got shot in the cowboy and Indian War.
Yeah.
Can I say that? Was that?
I believe the correct term is Native American.
But that's what they were trying to emulate, right?
Yeah. You spent some time with the Native Americans on the, was it the reservation?
Native American culture. Yeah. I genuinely am fascinated by it. Nobody loves Native American culture better than me.
You should meet my grandpa.
I'm like Donald Trump talking. Oh, really? Is your grandpa really into that?
He is. Well, his mom was maybe half. So then he would be whatever. And then I think I'm like,
what tribe?
The Black Hawk, which was a
Blackhawks?
Black Hawk. They were like an offshoot of, I can't remember anyway. But I was going to bring this up and
that's badass.
No, it's cool. And they were, you need it seriously. When I say you guys all need to come down here sometime, you do, because
I'm coming.
They were all over down here. I know they were all over Iowa, but there's cattle on this side of the road, and there is a spring that doesn't freeze. I mean, it's constantly running. So that is where the Indians would like bathe themselves and do. So they found all sorts of artifacts. I found a full tomahawk.
No shit.
In the field behind this house. Yes. I was walking.
They probably shot some settler with that.
Well, they probably scalped some white guy.
Yeah.
With a confusing last name like Eddie or Edie. They just didn't know. So they got so sick of it. They just.
What a fascinating, because it's so funny. Like I think we're so quick to judge over history. It's like, because of all the like pop culture that has been like, of just like, I just watched that movie Horizon, the new Costner, which is really underwhelming. Really? Especially for a human who loves Westerns and stuff like I do. Well, like all we see anymore is like the Native Americans were bad. Yep. Like in that sense, like we were stealing all their shit.
Yeah.
Yes. Like we were giving them diseases.
Yes.
We were stealing all their shit. They didn't know any different. They've lived this way for thousands of years.
I know. No, it's actually really heartbreaking when you think about it. Can you imagine? I'm sure it was exactly like how we are going to feel when the aliens finally show up, because we are just here living our lives. Yes. We are peacefully. We all look the same. And then someone who we've never seen before is going to show up and they're going to want to do whatever. And it has to be very similar to how the Native Americans felt.
It's funny you say that, because I'm going to give you homework after this.
All right.
We're going to each watch this new documentary that's out about aliens. And then we're going to do a movie review. in a
Oh my
couple
gosh.
weeks. But
What
there was
documentary
a
is it?
Aiden, look up the name of it real quick. It's the new. It's on like the top 20 in like Apple movies right now. I think it's
God.
called the Program. I think is what it is. Look up like UFOs, stuff like that. There was a situation. I was just reading about this in Brazil. One of the most documented alien encounters of all time, where a man reportedly came in contact with one of these creatures, and just by like touching it, got some sort of bacteria that killed him. And it's almost what happened with us and the Native Americans, where we would bring these like
Think about the
diseases
first Thanksgiving. We wiped out so much of their population.
just by existing.
Yeah, well, it's exactly like Aiden saying when he came to live at your house for a little bit, he immediately got sick because he was not used to those specific germs. It's exactly like that. It is exactly like that.
This is the Program. Rogan had this guy on who is and this was, we were going to talk about these drones as well, because I know you constantly have encounters.
There's some shit going on down here, is all I have to say.
It might
People
be
think I'm
because of
nuts.
that creek that never freezes.
Well, they hang out over the river here. I sound like such a hillbilly. And, we got the river, we got the creek, we got the gravel
You got to
road.
go yonder them cows, and then no. So it was right around when these drones are popping up in New Jersey and stuff, and this guy knows more about this stuff. Probably he's like a journalist. He's like a real journalist. He's done all these documentaries. He's the one who did the thing on the thing in Brazil that I was just telling you about.
Yeah.
And he just came out with the Program. Will apparently blow your mind. I haven't taken the time to sit and watch it yet. This is a night that I need kids gone. Like, I need locked in, no cell phone.
I don't know if I can. Like, I don't know if I can. Because
Why?
I will tell you, again, I'm going to sound so kooky. So I think it was Christmas Eve. It was really close to Christmas. I sent you a video.
The drone.
It was a drone or something. It had me so stressed out. It had me so stressed out. I was just worried. I just had a sick feeling in my gut because I don't want anything to happen. I don't want them to show up. I want to protect my kids. I turn into such like a psycho mama bear. I'm like, no fucking aliens coming in here.
Yeah. I don't think it's probably aliens. I think it's a better chance that drone is like the deep state spying on something.
It's the missing. And so then I get worried about that. I'm like, oh God, they are searching for those missing nuclear weapons, which I honestly cannot talk about. The first time you and I sat down and talked and you talked about nuclear weapons, I still carry that anxiety with. So I actually cannot talk about that anymore because it makes me sick. I don't want that to happen to humanity.
Do you read?
Yeah, I read.
I'm going to buy you the book Nuclear
No,
War.
I'm not. No. I'm not going to read it. I don't want to know. Okay, wait. I have a question for you. If someone gave you a crystal ball and said, look into it and you can see what's going to happen, would you look?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably not.
No, I'm not looking. 10 times out of 10 times, I'm not looking because there are some things that I don't want to know. I don't want to walk around ignorant. No way, I don't. I want to know enough. I don't want to know too much. And
well, did you know that once the first nuke is launched,
yes,
it's
you told
24 minutes and then the whole world is just...
Yeah, you told me that. And unfortunately, I have not had a good night's sleep since. So thank you for that.
That's what I think all this is. Like, so it came out like I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, or because we have a new president now. Where Donald Trump, months ago was on his social media, Truth Social, and he was like, something fishy going on with these drones. And then they came out last week and basically said, Aiden, will you pull up that whatever they said? That I want to make sure we are professional journalists.
Yeah,
here on the CW pod.
We're fact checking.
We're in the Channel Seed studio. We are professional journalists. But they basically were like, no, there's nothing to see here. This was all regulated. This was and all these people now are like, you idiot, and like tagging me. And it's like, you guys are sheep.
No, you guys are sheep. If you think that these giant car-sized drones aren't something. I'm not saying they rose up out of the ocean and they are aliens. I'm not saying that.
Me neither. I think they're looking for nukes. I think they got.
Yeah.
I think something's going on.
Yeah, I do too. And that's stuff I don't want to know. Like I don't know. I don't want to know about the guys who have the job that have to sit under the mountain and keep an eye. Like I don't want to know because I'm just an idiot.
This is what the press secretary said. After research and study, the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
What did AI write that?
It's word salad.
After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FFA for research and various other reasons.
What are those reasons?
Yeah,
Please
what kind of research, ma'am? Many of these drones were also...
Did you say FFA?
Or
Future
FAA.
Farmers of
Sorry,
America?
I'm talking to Mackenzie. I'm just in farm mode here.
We don't even farm. No shit.
Just let people think you farm.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Many of these drones were also hobbyists. I didn't sleep last night. I'm sorry.
Oh, shoot.
Recreational and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy.
And who's
That
the
is
enemy?
the biggest
Russia?
joke of a... Yeah, what is the enemy? Is it
Like,
China?
Mars?
Is it...
Russia? China? Yeah, I know. It's...
So you're telling me these hobbyists are out there... Basically, they were doing like synchronized... They're like synchronized swimmers in the sky for however many days. No, why were they only coming out at night?
I know.
Something's going on. And then
Something's
listen
going
to this guy on Rogan's podcast.
No.
That
No.
It is not like it is not what they say it is. And I don't think I truly do not think that these drones are aliens. I do not believe that.
No, I don't either, but it's probably way worse than aliens, and I don't want to know about that. It's probably way worse for humanity than aliens ever could be. Who knows what aliens want? We know what our enemies want.
I truly think that like how this is going to end up, I don't think it'll be in our lifetime. I think our kids and our kids' kids will have to suffer through it though, unfortunately.
I hate that.
Did like that just make your mom's senses tingle? Yeah.
Yeah, we need to move on to something more positive. Can we?
No.
Please? I'm
I gotta
begging
finish
of
my
you.
thought.
Okay.
Like, you know how we always have thought the dinosaurs just disappeared by like a meteor, or I think that's what our world will be like, but I think we're going to do it to ourselves.
Oh, 1,000% we're going to do it to ourselves. And we are slowly killing ourselves right now with these.
Yeah.
And
you think you're going to give us all brain tumors, your phone?
No, I think it's just going to feed us it's
So
just
much
going
shit.
to feed us so much shit.
That's
and it's going to
brilliant.
plant these
Yeah.
seeds that it's just like we start to not trust our neighbors. We start to not trust our food. We start to, have distrust in the things that, and it's like, if all this went away, and I know that it can't, and I know AI can't go away, and I know we can't go in reverse because, we don't want to ever be at the mercy of other countries or whatever. I just wish it could. If I could wish something for, our planet and humanity, it would be that all this goes away. Not the Iowa Everywhere channel, of course.
No, we'll just keep that.
We'll keep that.
Do you ever... I think that's brilliant, by the way, what you just said. I think you're spot on. And I have this, like, this part of me, too. I've talked to my therapist about this. So now you're playing the part of my therapist, I guess.
I
where
love it.
it's like, I actually feel guilty for making a living in that space. Do you have any idea how many wives have come up to me in the last 20 years and been like, oh, my husband's always on that Cyclone Fanatic at night? Yeah, well, he should be spending time with you, ma'am. You're a beautiful woman. You guys should be he shouldn't be reading nonsense on our message board at 9:00 at night. I'm sorry for that.
No, I don't think you should carry guilt because it's not like you are. Continue your thought. Go on.
Well, I mean, but then I'm like, then I start to reason with myself. And like we're trying to do like good with these platforms. We're not
Absolutely.
trying to like divide people. Like a lot of these like they exist to divide you.
Yeah, they do. That's their goal, is to divide. No, I don't think. And honestly, we all have the gift of free will. Well, hopefully most people have the gift of free will. They don't have to be reading that at 9:00 at night. It shouldn't be you that those women are channeling their anger toward. It should be Chad, you know?
Yeah, it should be Chad.
So no, I wouldn't carry any guilt there.
Well,
I didn't make them do it.
Yeah, you're so right though, and like it's also why I just don't feel like I don't have a lot of hope.
Stop. There are so many things to be hopeful for. There are.
Okay, like what?
This technology, it can do a lot of bad, but it also can do a lot of good. And I don't know.
Do you trust humans to use it for good more than bad?
I don't trust humans, but I do trust. I think we, as a society, we always look at the younger generation coming in and we always are like, oh God, they're so stupid. They're so this, they're so that. But the new generation, a lot of them are switching to flip phones. A lot of them have interests in saving the planet. A lot of them have interests that aren't and it's because millennials like us are raising this generation, and we were softer than the generation before us, and that's good. You know, I think we're not all a bunch of soft boys and soft girls, but we do have.
Aiden is.
Aiden's perfect. Aiden is my perfect angel. There he is.
He just gave the Taylor Swift heart for
Yes,
those
he
who are
did.
listening on the podcast feed.
So anyway, I think that we.
You are right
hope.
about the generation thing, though. Like
Look at your children. Like, look at your girls and the things that they stand for already. It's pretty freaking impressive.
Yeah. Well, Cameron at least.
Yeah.
I don't know what Elise is. I think Elise might go back a generation and just be a total bulldog.
Yeah. That's always the second child.
You got that same deal?
Oh.
Those boys?
Yeah.
The first one's an angel, and then the second one is raising hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the most true thing I've learned now that I'm 40 is the birth order thing is absolutely like the most real thing in the world.
Yeah. It is.
What were you,
I'm the oldest daughter, so I have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Just a ton.
I could totally tell. I didn't know. I could totally tell you're a firstborn.
You could?
Yeah.
And it's so funny. My cousin
It's a compliment.
thank you.
Yeah.
He
Got
he
your
has,
shit together.
Thank you. Well, I try to make it seem that way, even if I don't. My cousin has 3 boys, and his oldest boy is the same age. No, excuse me. His youngest boy is the same age as my oldest boy. And I look at them and I'm like, you two are the same age on paper, but you are like, my son is so much older than your son, even though he's technically 5 days older because he's the youngest. And so it's just like, poor Hayes. He has years of carrying.
My wife is the oldest of 3, and she's just like that. Like what you're describing and what she reminds me a lot of you in the sense of like everything is always on her.
It does.
When
We
it's
feel
really
that.
not.
No, it's not. But we do feel like we have to carry a lot of that burden and responsibility and make sure everyone's okay. I am like a neutralizer. If I come into a situation and there's animosity or there's things going on, I feel like it is my job to come in and neutralize the situation, even if it has nothing to do with me. And it is something I need to work on, because if it's none of my business, it's none of my business. But I feel like I have to like neutralize the situation.
Man, we've covered a lot of ground today.
I know we have.
This is good.
Are
you going to
bored
watch
yet?
that? Will you please watch that documentary?
I don't know. Maybe.
Make Jeff sit down on Valentine's Day. You guys can get under a blanket together.
Jeff's
Have
biggest.
some Steeple Ridge Bourbon.
We
See
should
where the
do
night
that.
takes you.
Oh yeah. Jeff's biggest
Little-
fear would be me watching that movie, because I would be a mess afterwards, and he'd have to deal with it.
Does Jeff know that the World of Outlaws start on Wednesday?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he knows. How's Gio?
Good. Car's running well. Yeah.
That's all you can ask for, you know.
It started.
A good running car, you
It
know.
started after the winter, you know.
Well, that's good. Well, it's good. I hope. I hope so. I hope that engine's just purring.
Funny
like a
story
kitten.
about that. So every year I MC Iowa State football's like big fundraiser for the NIL. Mm-hmm. And that's on Wednesday night, which happens to be the opening night of the...
So you had to cancel.
No.
I'm just kidding.
But there's a member of Campbell's coaching staff who's also a huge sprint car fan.
Really?
And I've introduced him to Gio, and he's now a huge Gio fan. And arrangements are being made for the Outlaw opener to be streaming at the bar.
Oh my gosh.
Of the location of this place.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
That's the most Central Iowa shit you ever heard, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. Might as well throw some wrestling in there too. And really make the trifecta.
Was your family into wrestling?
No.
It's so funny because, like, my family, like, it was never exposed to me at all. Like, my dad never once was like, oh, I'm going to take you and let you try wrestling. Absolutely not. You're playing basketball. We don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the weirdest deal. But
yeah.
if you're into wrestling, it's like your life, you know?
It's wrestling family. It's like military families. It's the same with wrestling families. And it's a honor thing. Yeah, no, we were not.
That's so funny you said that because we're a military family and I know exactly what you mean by that.
Yeah. It's just something.
All right. So you're going to watch the program. Thank you for joining me. This was fun.
Thanks for having me.
I think that you and Scott are doing a great job. Cade is really the star of the show, if we're being honest. Can we just be honest here for a minute? Young Cade.
Cade is doing a great job. He really does hold us. He's the glue, and he's wonderful.
Well, it's been fun to watch you guys get started. I know that we're just getting started. That's the number one key with all of this. Aiden, thank you for... He's literally sitting there yawning on camera right now. I think he's ready for us. Jeez, Aiden. I will give you a bottle of Steeple Ridge as well the next time I see you, because I always give guests a bottle of bourbon.
Well, thanks.
Do you drink whiskey?
No.
Yeah.
But Jeff does.
Jeff could enjoy it.
Jeff is like you. He's on a health journey, and not a lot of beer being consumed in this household. A lot of bourbon, a lot of whiskey. So
it really does. I know it sounds stupid, but
no, it doesn't.
It's all about mass, right?
Right.
Like,
it's about quantity. Yeah.
When I was on like craft beer I think back to those days where I would go down. We would have we did our radio show at El Bait Shop on Thursday nights. I would have like 6 craft beers in a 2-hour show. Which is probably illegal. I probably shouldn't have been doing that with the whole FCC thing, but never had anything bad happen, I guess.
Whatever, yeah.
But then, like, the problem is too in this world, especially in the radio world, like we would do these remotes, and everybody wants you to try their product because they want you to potentially talk about it.
Right.
You should see. At some point, I'm sure we'll have a get together at my house. The amount Aiden can attest to this. The amount of bottles of whiskey that I have, hundreds, and
hundreds.
Yes, and I bet I've only paid for 25% of them.
Sheesh.
Because these people I would just go to these remotes and they would just, oh, the guy from Exile, here's a 4-pack, try this. I would drink so much craft beer. Where the amount of calories I was probably taking into my body on a weekly basis
it's like 150 plus per can.
Oh, more than that, buddy. And these heavy ones, you're talking 300 probably.
And then you have to eat. So, yeah.
And it makes you hungrier.
Yeah.
And you're usually at a place that it's not exactly nutritious food.
Right. Let's make some microwave nachos when I get home.
So then it's like, I would think about how many of these craft beers I would drink. And then it's like, oh, or I could have 2 to 3 glasses of like bourbon.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it doesn't sound stupid. It makes sense. Mathematically.
So we're just going to drink more bourbon. That's the key to 2025.
Yeah. Make America bourbon drinkers again.
She is Mackenzie Eddie.
Thank you.
Never making that mistake again for the rest of
It's okay if you do. I won't. It doesn't bother me, and I won't correct you.
This is your Tuesday pod on Iowa Everywhere. Aiden, what's coming up later the week? When are Scott and Chad recording?
Bigger Than 12 will be out
Bigger Than
either
12
tonight or early
today.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah, because they wanted to wait until that monstrosity in Lawrence was complete.
And then Legends listeners should be available Thursday morning.
Poor Jake Brend went all the way down to Lawrence. He was so excited to go and be a fan in that game and not have to cover it and just get, as my friend Dan McCarney would say, took you out behind the woodshed and smacked your ass. Dan says that all the time.
That's kinky. Just kidding.
I think Dan means it like whooping your, like.
I'd say whoop your ass then, because slapping your ass or smacking your ass, that's kind of hot.
But he changes it just enough to make you think, oh my God, they're getting kinky.
Maybe there's some funny business going on behind the shed. I don't know.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Appreciate
Thank you. Thank you.
Download, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks to our presenting sponsor, Steeple Ridge Bourbon. I'll be back next week with another CW pod here on Iowa Everywhere.